I want to keep playing because I want them to have seen me throw, and I I haven't gotten any, worse. I have gotten better each year, and I'm starting to get to the point where I feel like, I've got something to prove with this, and
Mhm.
I really want to be able to do that and make my family proud with it.
That-
I really want to be able to, see my brother and my dad in the stands, and my grandma, and I'm thinking about it kind of brings some shivers to me. But yeah, I really just I want to be able to have them see me play.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Hi, I'm Spencer.
No, I'm just kidding. What's good? This is Out on a Limb, hosted by me, Adam Nicolesco. This is a really, I always say these are special episodes, but this one is specifically really cool just because I got Spencer Bivens in the building, well, in the webcam, whatever. But he is an amazing pitcher, and he was on my team that I'm currently on right now. But he's sadly going to a little bit more of a professional league right now. But it's really cool. So Spencer, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. This is my first podcast.
Man, you got a first interview today and the first podcast. You're living right now.
Yeah, I'm on cloud nine.
So, how I do? Before I start, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I have to get used to that whole YouTube thing. That's what all the YouTubers do. But anyway, so like how I do all my first questions. Song of the day. What song are you vibing to?
Probably gonna have to give "Welcome to Jamrock" by Damian Marley.
Okay,
It gets me hyped up to pitch, and I love it. I love the vibe to it.
That's actually a really cool answer. I was jamming out to "Perfect Circle" / "Godspeed" by Mac Miller. I don't know if you've ever heard that song.
Oh yeah. I
Huge,
saw you were a Mac Miller fan.
huge Mac Miller fan. Yeah, he really cool dude. But anyway, so like I said, you're so the reason why I even brought you on this, it's like a super cool story with you, how you kind of went from American ball and then you kind of played in all over the world almost. So is that out there considered indie ball, or is it a different type of word?
In Europe, you talking about?
Yes.
So it's just kind of ball.
Ball.
They don't really like consider it their pro league necessarily, but it's more of almost like what we're doing with like the adult league kind of thing. But it's still, they're taking it extremely seriously, and it's very good. And then so each team will bring in like guys from all over the world that played at a higher level, and kind of try to help instruct some of these teams and coach them in a sense, but just to get that experience and at playing.
So how is quarantine going then? So like what you were getting ready for a season in Czech Republic, correct?
Yeah, so I was signed to play in the Czech Extraliga. It's like their best league, and I was gonna play on team Kotlarka Praha. And
Oh wow.
Yeah, for Coach Scotty Mulhorn, Australian fella, very good guy. But yeah, and they're right outside of Prague, and I had never been there. I was super excited.
Damn. So when you, I guess you were warming up a lot, and then it kind of just the news got broken, and you're like, oh, there's no season now.
Yeah, so I've been training like every day, damn near, more or less like 5 times a week, and since last December, last October-ish, and I just haven't stopped. I kind of anticipated the COVID thing because it broke somewhat slowly. But then they decided to, cancel flights and cancel borders, and I really just needed to keep myself together. And, it's the same mission and the same goal as if I were to play over there. Maybe even definitely more so if playing here. But I had just anticipated on going to this league and being set in this situation, and having it kind of down, so to speak.
So, is it like different playing styles between American and Europe? Have you noticed anything different, or is it kind of the same?
And to some of the things I was expecting with like playing college and having it played at a high level, so to speak. And it was just small stuff. There really weren't any huge variances.
I didn't know if they were going to be more competitive over there or not, because like you've seen the Japan leagues, they're more very like into it, as like they have like cheerleaders there. They have like a whole fan base. It's just intense about it.
It's actually pretty intense over there in Japan. It's super loud, and like some of them have domes, and get really loud and like really rah. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. And before I go any farther, I never got to ask you about your dreads. How long have you been growing those out?
Oh man, these are little baby ones. I've been growing it since a couple months before I left for France last year. I cut it in December before my graduation at Penn State, and then so it's been about a year and a half now.
Wow,
I'm pretty blessed. My hair grows fast.
Is it hard to maintain dreads? Like I was always curious about dreads.
Yeah. So I've got them like what is called retwisted or twisted, just only once or twice, and other than that, you just have to be careful when you wash it. Like try not to wash it all the time, because they're trying to lock still.
Right.
And really, it's just every now and then wash your hair, and other than that, I'm pretty cool with it.
So if you
like how it's crazy.
If you were to like take it out of dreads, would it just be super long and like crazy?
Oh man, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do the paint. So if you're gonna undread your hair, you really have to like get in there and like comb it backwards. And I just couldn't handle it. I would just cut my hair off.
Would it be? Was it super painful to like get dreads in the beginning?
No, it's pretty simple. It's just they're just simply twisting your hair and using some lotion and some wax and stuff.
That's all interesting. Like I never asked someone about dreads, so I'm glad I did now.
We could go on a long talk about that one.
That could be another episode for another day. But so when did you first get involved with traveling overseas? Was it after high school, or kind of what happened after high school?
So with traveling overseas, I was pretty comfortable with the idea. My last year was the first year I had done it, and having experience traveling already, and experiences different cultures and stuff, I really didn't see any sort of no sort of problem really with going somewhere new. And I was just kind of comfortable with it.
So you went to State High. You probably did very good there, I'm assuming. I didn't look up the stats or anything, but after that, what kind of happened after high school? Like, was there recruitment involved, or kind of what happened?
Okay. With high school, we had 3 pretty solid pitchers that we all started. We were kind of similar in our pitching techniques. My buddy Tim Shawley, myself, and Michael Finland. We were all, tall, 6'4", lanky dudes. But I didn't get a whole lot of, recruiting on a big scale. I had a few like little schools, like PSAC schools here in Pennsylvania, and a couple junior colleges. And when I played for my travel team out of Johnstown, the Flood City Elite, their coach Rick Roberts, he kind of hooked me up with this junior college in North Carolina. And I know the South is big time baseball. It's like right in ACC country. And I just had this kind of idea of like, wow, I want to go to a big school to get this experience. And so I went down there. I did pretty well down there. My freshman year, most freshmen don't play, and I was all right with that. Didn't play really much. My sophomore year, I went and played in a collegiate league during the summer, and that really got me prepared for playing a good amount and playing guys that are, very good, and the competition level. So like versus high school, I don't think I was prepared really. So playing in this league got me where I needed to be and gave me a little bit of confidence and kind of just got the ball rolling. And my sophomore year, I did pretty well. I ended with like an ERA in the low threes. Wasn't throwing all that hard. It was like 80, 84, 85, 86-ish, touch 87. But I knew I wanted to try to go play at Penn State. And after my sophomore year, I think it was 2014, I went up to Penn State, and I emailed Coach Cooper, and we did a little back and forth with that and a few of the assistants. And I found out there was tryouts, so I tried out for the team. I made the team, the initial first round, and they took about 5 of us. A couple of the buddies I'm still pretty good friends with. But yeah, so I made it through a couple of rounds of this extended tryout kind of thing, and I was cut. Didn't play that spring anywhere. I stayed at Penn State, and I was going to try out again the following year, and they didn't have a tryout. So I'm kind of just stuck in limbo and still wanting to play and, trying to really get this California Collegiate League. Once again, trying to get myself ready for this type of competition to play at Penn State. I did pretty well over there in the league. I didn't pitch a whole lot, but I had like 28 innings in a summer. Did pretty well. Came back to Penn State, tried out for the second time in 3 years, and I didn't make the team. I was pretty bummed about it, but it is what it is. My buddy Devlin, I played with at Lewisburg my freshman year. He ended up, I actually saw him in that collegiate league in California. And it's a small world. Baseball is such a small world.
It is a very small world.
Yeah, it was actually crazy, the coincidence. So I saw him out there, and he was like, "Yo, man, I'm going to this school in Oklahoma. I don't know if that'll interest you at all." And I really looked at it, and I was like, "Wow, this might be what I need, actually." And it's a small school, like right outside of Tulsa, like 4,000 students. But when I got there and got treated like really well, and they wanted me there, and I was just like, I knew I was home. It felt really good. I love my teammates, and I love the coaches. And actually, my pitching coach just retired, so shout out Coach Brown.
Coach Brown.
He's a one-of-a-kind dude. But bottom line is my college experience was just all over the place with it.
After Oklahoma, is that when you first heard about this Europe League and try to get involved with that?
So I had another buddy that I played with at Lewisburg, and he was playing on this team that signed me 2 years before I was. And it looked like, from his Snapchats, it looked kind of raw at the time. And I was like, wow, dude, how are you doing this? How are you in France playing baseball? Like, what's this like? And I was kind of quizzing him a little bit, like how you asked me a lot of questions.
Right.
And it really, I just was like, I didn't get drafted. I put up some good numbers, and it is what it is. But I was just dedicated to still wanting to play and not ready to give it up. But, yeah.
So with your friend, were you kind of like being persistent, like, yo, how can I get on this team? Like, push it a little bit?
Oh yeah, I would hit him up every week and be like, "Yo, Tim," his name's Tim Mansfield.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yo, Tim, like, how have you mentioned your coach that I'm interested? Like, where are you this week?" It was just really, I was on him about it.
After you got in contact with this coach, was there a tryout involved, or kind of how did you get in that process of finally saying I'm on the team?
So it's kind of like just an invite only kind of things. They had to fly me out there and pay for my bags in my apartment. So really it was just like hoping that I would be good and believing Tim's word and really just hoping. But I was really fortunate. I was actually out visiting my school in Tulsa, and I was in the Chicago airport when my coach Tomas Salado called me. Said, "Hey, Spencer, you want to come to France?" It was really cool. It was a surreal kind of movie type of moment to me.
You probably got chills a little bit.
Yeah, it was really cool because at this time I was thinking, all right, this isn't going to happen. It's getting closer to another season. What are you going to do? What's the next step? And then boom, my phone rings.
So once you kind of, you accepted it obviously right away. What was your mindset on leaving the country? Like, I'm sure you had to talk to your parents and like what's going on then?
Oh, my mom was super supportive of me. She likes the whole being able to use baseball and travel the world concept. Plus, she had never been to France and she wanted to come out and visit. But she was great, and there was really no problem talking to her about it. The hardest thing for me was packing. Like
really, yeah.
I'm pretty fashionable in a way, and I like to change my clothes up. But it was tough for getting all my shoes to fit. And that was probably the hardest part.
Well, I'm gonna link your Instagram and the YouTube for this episode, but you got to check out his Instagram. He is a very fashionable man. But so as you're you go there, it's a whole new area. Did you know any French at this point? Because you went to French League,
Yeah. I hadn't taken French in high school and college, so I went in there with really nothing at all. I knew, oui, and that was about it. But when I got there, my coach was there to pick me up, and there's a few other the teammates to help me with my bags. And immediately I was like, wow, it's another one of those situations where like they want you, and it feels good. And I knew immediately when I got to the airport. They picked me up and all that. It's about an hour drive from the main airport in Paris. Not Orly, but oh my goodness. Anyway, main airport, about an hour ride. I get to my apartment, and first thing my teammates I didn't know at all were like, "Wow, dude, you have a lot of shit." I had like 4 bags, and it's like, "You moving here?" I was like, "Yeah, that's the plan." But no, it was. I knew immediately like that they wanted me, and it was a good fit. It was a good fit.
So, what were you throwing? I guess during this tryout at that point, do you know what you were throwing at all?
Probably in the upper 80s. I had touched the 90s a little bit in my last year at school in Oklahoma, but it was still kind of early in the season. I hadn't really thrown live to anybody, and I'm just kind of doing this on my own in the middle of like March. So I really didn't even know. The first day I got there, though, there was only one time I saw a radar gun in this league, which was kind of surprising because there were a good amount of people that knew what was going on and knew the game, and there were fans. But so my first weekend there, I'd been off the plane for like 4 hours, and we fly to Toulouse in southern France. And my back's tight and everything's kind of sore. I'm throwing. I'm in relief because they didn't really know if I would be good to go like immediately. I hit 89 a couple times, but in one inning. Other than that, that was the only thing I knew immediately. But as the season went on, I'm sure my velo went up at least a couple notches.
What drills were you doing? Specific drills or anything to get your arm in that, getting faster? Like what type of workouts were you focusing on?
Really, I just do a lot of band work, as well as throwing. I throw weighted balls, drive line.
Okay.
And I've been kind of trying to manipulate my own little thing that works for me. So I mean, Driveline's pretty hands-on, and the information is, custom to you. So I've been trying to do a little bit of cheaper alternative where I kind of know what's expected with this, and I'm trying to make my own kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it probably didn't work out as good as, doing the actual Driveline program would be. But I was just doing what was comfortable for me at the time. And really, the band work is the most important, I'd say. Just keeping your scap and your shoulder intact and, ready to go and mobile.
Did you, so what was your fastest you ever pitched so far, to your knowledge?
Fastest I ever pitched, 92 at school. I'd say I'm throwing harder now than I ever have. But yeah, I had 92 a couple times at Rogers State. Sadly, it's not even that hard anymore. Everyone's throwing 98 and 100.
Now, how do you, are you, I guess you're still trying to work up your speed? Because, I mean, I'm still trying to do the same thing, like, getting in that area. Like, how are you just doing more band work then? Or are you trying more things out to get faster?
So I do the Jaeger sports bands, and they kind of come with a program of 9 or so drills that you do. I really just stick to that. And there's a few other things that I added. I do like forward and backward arm circles and, big and small circles, and kind of try to take my time with it and not just like rush through it and, but I mean, I add a few more things that really just help loosen my arm out, like things that you probably wouldn't learn to do, but I just have worked for me.
Okay.
But other than that, really, yeah, it's really just the band work and the weighted balls that I love to do them. I do them every day, and like I look forward to it every day doing it. And I've also found that doing a lot of hill sprints will help.
Hill sprints, I think, will help.
I've been doing them like religiously this off season, and it's been paying off for me.
You got to do, I don't know if it was Roger Clemens or Kurt Schilling. I think it was Roger Clemens. He would, I'm pretty sure there's a story of him. He would literally go in like his, balance position if he's pitching, and he'd have a bowl of popcorn on his knee, and his leg was just huge because he would balance on it for half an hour just watching a TV show, eating popcorn.
No, I actually had heard that story before. I think it was Roger Clemens.
Yeah. I'm gonna put up some videos because I have with Peter from WTAJ. He got me some extra clips, with his camera, but I also got a couple videos of you pitching today, and I also have a cool clip of Alex Singer. He goes, I cut to him and he goes, "Kid's a beast." Singer's great, dude.
Oh man.
So. How was the first season then in France? Like, what was it like, with food wise or just, playing? Like, how was that experience?
Well, okay. So the food, as soon as I got there, like I said, we went to Toulouse and I hadn't been on the ground for more than like 12 hours. And our flight back from Toulouse got canceled, and like they didn't have any more flights that night, so we had to rent a couple of vans, and it was like an 8-hour drive. We drove all night and got back at like 6 in the morning, and we stopped a few times, at rest stops, and that's when it really hit me. Like I have no idea what I'm about to pick up and eat and look at. We were in the grocery store, similar to like a Sheetz kind of thing. No made to order food, but and I'm looking at chips and I'm like, whoa, what is fromage? What is this? Like, what is poillette? And like all this stuff I couldn't pronounce. I'm probably butchering still. It was just unbelievable. But they have the best flavor Lay's potato chips you'll ever have. And
really?
Rotisserie chicken.
What?
Unbelievable. They taste just like rotisserie chicken, and that was easily my favorite snack. But actual food, I got to become a fan of escargot. I had kind of liked it a little bit here, but when I was over there, I just really went after it, and I really took advantage of that one.
That's a big popular thing in France. So I mean, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
How long was the season, and how well did you guys do?
So our season was 35 games, something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
we played every weekend. And we played we played every Sunday, and it was double headers, and it was pretty solid. 70 was never really like a powerhouse team in this league. They had been to the championships a few years ago. I think it was maybe a decade ago. But the teams to beat over there were like the Rouen Huskies, and they're like in the Normandy area.
Mm-hmm.
Montpellier is very good, and they're southern France as well. And Montigny and Sennar. Sennar, they were difficult, but fun to pitch against.
So were you a starter, or were you a relief pitcher?
I was the one starter,
Okay.
and there was another starter. His name was Lilian, and he was a French guy, and he was a fiery guy. I liked him a lot. Little 18-year-old dude asking me a bunch of questions about American baseball, and he's just this French kid who wants to go play in America, and he's actually signed to a junior college in Texas right now.
No way. Good for him.
Yeah, but he was just fun to teach some things to and talk to about it.
So did you guys end up doing well then at the end of the season then?
We missed the playoff by just a couple games, sadly. And, it goes into like a 14 kind of championship thing. But yeah, we missed the playoff, sadly.
So then after the season ends, do you go home, or do you try to stay up there for a little bit?
So some of the other import guys that, aren't French, they stuck around and kind of explored a little bit with their time. I had kind of already been doing that in between, like in between weekends. Sometimes a few weekends we had off, and then the practice schedule was, pretty light to what, baseball here is like. So I had a lot of free time, and my coach was really cool and like, yeah, you're in France, go travel. It's easy. And so I did a fair amount of traveling while I was actually there. And then some of the other import guys, they stuck around so they could do a little bit of traveling.
After the season, you're doing your own thing then. How did you pick another team then? Did you decide to like just leave this team? Was there contracts or trades involved? Like, how does that all happen then?
So like every year with the import guys, it's kind of like a 1-year thing, but almost all the teams are really cool with, oh, come back next year. And so I was planning after I played the season. I did pretty well, and I was kind of impressed with myself, but not in an arrogant way. I was impressed with myself playing against, a good level of competition. I was like, okay, maybe we should try to actually play at home. And so with the Wild things, it was always in the back of my mind. And like my best friend plays for them right now. He's a center fielder. We played high school all growing up. But so knowing he played there and, was going to go back and play again, and thinking I can do this. It was always back in the back of my head. And then I was a few months after I got back from France. My coach, Scotty Mulhern, he hit me up on Facebook, and he's just like, hey, do you have any interest in coming to the Czech Republic? And then this guy I played in France, who's an American, had played there previously in the previous league. And he put in a really good word of just a recommendation for me, and I hadn't even known he did this. He played for the Sinar team. That's very good,
Okay.
and he was their ace pitcher. But he had referenced me, and I found out about it after the fact. And and then the team in Czech Republic offered me a contract, and I took it.
So, I guess, is there trades involved in these leagues as well, or is it just you play on a contract?
There aren't any trades, but there is kind of a free agency.
Okay.
Like, you are just essentially a free agent when you're done with this league, but the difference between here and there free agency is, those teams will actually want you to come back and play. So you could essentially sign with a totally different team, but in the same league. Really, you could sign with anybody.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Most of the guys that have been there a while or plan on going back to the same area, that they'll stay with that same team.
Okay. So is your contract is it just a year deal, or is it like trying to play for multiple years?
It's just a season. Not necessarily like a full year.
Okay.
It's really just like a season.
Okay. When you're out there and you're a pitcher, is coaching a big thing, or do they kind of just say, we signed you to this team, we trust your talent, and just go out there and play? Or is there like a pitching coach for you to help you?
So it depends kind of team to team.
Okay.
So Tama was our head coach, and like I had referenced before, baseball jobs overseas. It's a really cool database where you kind of create your profile, and teams can like kind of bid on you or like show their interest. Toma doesn't use that database, and he kind of just like, word of mouth, you should take this guy, kind of thing. And so we didn't really have a pitching coach per se. So a lot of it was on our own and on ourselves. But it was also, you got to be respectful and, be coachable when, you get a mound visit, or if you're getting taken out of the game. Like, you can't just, be big league about it.
So now we're at the point where, you accepted this Czech Republic deal, and, you're getting ready for the season, and then, COVID hit, and then you're kind of like, now what? So at that point where, COVID hit and, season was canceled, how did you get, like, what was your mindset like trying to figure out the next step for you then?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It was tough. It's really tough. And it's still kind of up in the air with things. But so I found out the league wasn't going to play. And then I had also found out the league I played in France canceled their season. So for a little bit there, it was like, I really don't know what I'm going to do. And I know I wanted to keep playing, and I know I still want to keep playing. So immediately I was going to I'm going to play the Ducks. I'm going to play Ducks out, and I'm going to actually like give it everything. And I loved it. I got to meet you, and I met a whole bunch of new people, and I really enjoyed it.
So was it just you knew people on the team that like kind of word of mouth, like trying to get you to play, or did you reach out to somebody saying you wanted to play?
So I whenever I had kind of like some time to play in a summer, I would, get a start or two in, kind of like what's going on this year, just to get some work in. And, I was really good friends with Singer growing up, and, it's been cool. Word of mouth. Yeah. My buddy Jared Daly also has been, like, yo, you should come pitch for us. And I played with him in high school and all growing up. And, I really enjoyed the idea of playing with guys I hadn't played with in a while, haven't played with at all, and new dudes. So I just, I was in for it 100%.
When you pitch, and I mentioned this to you today, I noticed that when you're on the mound, like your top foot is kind of like, I guess, off the mound a little bit, but still on it, and that's how you push off. And is that kind of a thing that just always went your way, or like was that something taught to you?
Yeah, I really just it's how I got comfortable pitching like in little league.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most people don't have their foot kind of like across the rubber itself. Most of them, you know, are a little bit in front of it and pushing off of the rubber,
Mm-hmm.
and with their heels. And I push off it with more of, I'd say, my toes, kind of like a jump almost.
Yeah.
But it's not that, you know, herky jerky looking. It's really how I learned to be comfortable with it. It was never taught to me. I had a bunch of really helpful guys, a lot of dads, a lot of little league dads that helped me along the way, and yeah, it's just how I got comfortable doing it.
And shout out for all the dads out there. So with your mechanics, then, are you always trying to like learn if there's a new way to, get faster? Or are you very comfortable with the way you're pitching now?
I'm always interested in, you know, finding something that could make me throw maybe a little harder or, you know, a little bit more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's tough to just think about one thing and then tweak it immediately. Like it takes
Mm-hmm.
reps. And
Okay.
yeah, it's just reps and reps and reps. But I'm always open to learning something new with it. And, you know, I'm probably not, you know, the most efficient mechanically, but I've been pretty comfortable with it. I've, you know, been pretty lucky with my arm, you know, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood.
But no, yeah, it's been cool.
Okay, so when you're, is that more of a humbling experience after you went from, a Europe league and then coming to a men's league?
Yeah. So coming from Europe and, you know, kind of knowing what to expect with it, and you know, just knowing that you are striving to play pro baseball,
Mm-hmm.
and then like not necessarily having to like settle, but you know, having to just be like, all right, this is your only option right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely humbling, but I try to just take it one pitch at a time. You know, whether it's a 50-year-old man with his kids watching, or you know, like some high school prospect that's really good, or you know, anything in between. And it's really just trying to get my work in, trying to win, and you know, trying to compete.
Right, and that's a great mindset to have, because that's my mindset as well with this league. Like, I get it's men's kind of league, but I also know it's competitive, and you are going to have really good talent, and it's going to be fun. But it should be taken as reps and having fun, and I kind of learned that like it's all about having fun in the game. Like, and like playing this league made me like, even though I absolutely love baseball, like I have fun because I enjoy the people I'm around, and then on top of doing that, that's when you get really good, because then you're just having fun, and that's the whole point. No matter
Yeah.
what you're doing, even if you're in professional baseball, like you always have to have fun.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
So what were you going to say something?
No, so I know guys can get burn out with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to just make it fun, like you said.
Right, and it's really cool that you say that. So it's your first game with us. When the season started. I never met you before that day, and I was hearing you're getting hyped up, and I was like, oh, he's definitely good. So I was getting all excited, and so it was really cool to meet you and whatnot. But your first game, you threw a no-hitter, and like, did you have any idea that was going on throughout the whole game? This was only like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, every pitcher knows if he's got one or not, and yeah, I knew it. I was aware of it, and I was just trying to just throw strikes, and I mean hit spots also. But I didn't expect to go out and be pretty dominant. But that's where a lot of my off-season work has come to pay off. And I've noticed differences in my body and my just in my ability.
A really cool experience. When you threw the no-hitter, was that your first career no-hitter then?
Yeah, yeah.
We got to pull a round of applause in there.
I've been close. I've thrown a couple two hitters, and I had been close, and that was really a cool thing to do.
We
And
should have thrown some Gatorade on you and put some ice all over you.
well, I mean, we won like 14-0, so it was a
Hey,
little.
don't let's not put the score in there. We got to make this sound really competitive.
Oh, yeah. No, it was really cool. It was really cool. Uh,
That was a fun day, and that was like our first game, so it was really cool. So, um, so it's unfortunate news, but it's also really good news for you. So today was technically your last game. You said you might try to make one on our next game, but you're done with the men's league. Like it just started, but you're done because you have way more exciting things going on. So, like, how you want to explain that a little bit?
yeah. So like I was talking about earlier with my buddy Sage. He's playing on an independent league team based out of Washington, PA, outside of Pittsburgh, and it's in the Frontier League. It's like kind of a rookie ball level, essentially like the Spikes, but not the league's not affiliated with the MLB.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets scouted and all that. So they're trying to make the best of this whole COVID situation. The league itself isn't playing. So the Wild Things, the team, they're making this opportunity for guys like myself where they can go and play high level against guys that are also trying to get signed and play in front of scouts and stuff. And I was lucky enough to get a call to actually play with them.
Did you have to do a certain tryout, or was it by word of mouth and they knew about you?
I had gone down there in I think it was either late February or early March, and I was just kind of throwing to my buddy Sage and another teammate. His name's Hector, and I was throwing it at this indoor place that they kind of use. I was throwing well. I got it on video and on the gun, and this was kind of before I knew my season was going to be canceled in the Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of I had this, film and stuff from this really good bullpen, and they'd seen it and they'd heard about me. But I'd kind of also been persistent with it. I texting like the GM, seeing if there's like a tryout opportunity or anything I could really do. And so he called me last Saturday. It might have been the Saturday before. And he's just like, "Hey, we're gonna figure it out how we're gonna play, and we would like you to play with us, and and get paid, and it's I'm excited for it."
That's awesome. So is it like the Europe League where you have contracts then, and then is it just for a season?
Yeah, so it's just going to be one season, and it's kind of similar to the European thing. Like you're not really guaranteed anything, but you're on the team. You're not like guaranteed to be a starter or whatever. But I'm excited to get a chance to go and compete and prove myself a little bit.
That's awesome. So like I guess you got to rev it up a little bit. You got to throw 95 for this league.
Yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal.
So when does that league officially start then?
It's kind of still in the works with the schedule, but our training camp starts the 24th. No, physicals are the 24th, and our actual training and our spring training starts the 25th.
Okay, so of June. So you're 25 now, and this is a really, really good opportunity. If you haven't already, have you ever taken a time just to reflect and be like, wow, I've been on a crazy journey so far?
Yeah, whenever I get down or down about baseball in any way, I try to think about man, you're lucky. Like a lot of dudes aren't playing still. Like a lot of your friends, a lot of guys you played with aren't playing anymore, and you still get to go out there and pitch, and you get to go to France and play. I mean, I'm very fortunate, and it's
Yeah,
something I don't take it lightly.
yeah. I mean, it's such an interesting story. Like, that's why I think this episode's gonna be really cool, just because, it's not a unique perspective. Like usually it's either, oh, like, out of high school I got drafted, or I played at a D1 D2 school or whatever and got drafted at American. But like, you literally took such a different route. Like you went from American to Europe to back here. Like it's such a cool route. So I guess when you get there, I mean, you're gonna obviously have to try to work for your starting gig. But after that point, you have other people with the same ambitions, trying to make it to the next level. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of like, advice and learning a lot. But what is like the biggest goal? I mean, I'm sure it's a pretty obvious answer, but like, what's the biggest goal for you that you really want to try to achieve with baseball?
Well, obviously, I would love to get to the major leagues, but real short-term goals that I have in my head, I'm gonna try to hit 95 this year.
Mm.
I've been working really hard and doing what I need to do to keep myself in shape and my arm healthy, and I think it's in there. I think it's in there. So along with the 95 goal, just to sign an affiliate contract with the team. Just to get in an organization and continue to just keep taking steps.
It's cool. And so like for all the coaches who may have like cut you in the past, or didn't really see the talent, I mean, it's probably going to be a good humble moment if that moment eventually does come true. You're gonna be like, it's a probably a really good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak too soon on it or anything, but
No, fingers crossed, it's all good so far.
yeah. But no, I appreciate some of the lessons I've learned from being cut.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Yeah.
cut in 10th grade from our team, and that was, I thought that was crazy. And then I got cut at Penn State, and it's all been a learning experience, no matter how frustrating it's been.
Right.
Yeah.
It's cool because if you are to get cut, or you don't get playing time as much as you would hope and whatnot, I mean, throughout my life personally, I found that it almost helped me like get better. Like I feel like if I was starting that whole time, I wouldn't have gotten better. But like I feel like it just made me push a little, more.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's a really humbling but really exciting experience. And I get it. Like we're still so young. Like this is like a hell of a life journey so far.
Yeah, no, man, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So you have a really cool story. So your dad is not your dad is in Japan, correct?
Yeah, my dad teaches English. No, excuse me. He teaches science on an American Army base to like American kids that have parents that are in the military.
That's
he also teaches English to Japanese students as well.
huh.
It's cool.
So and you have a little brother then, correct?
Yeah, little Lou. And, I haven't seen him in quite some time. He's grown a whole lot. I stay in touch with my dad, and I get pictures of him and videos of him. So
Do you ever FaceTime or anything?
I haven't FaceTime with him. My dad's he's a little technically challenged with the Zoom and all that. He still tries to Skype, but Facebook's made it doable actually. So I do FaceTime with him, and it's been cool keeping him kind of up to date with stuff. My brother, he actually loves basketball a little bit more than other sports, and it's cool to see. I kind of like that he doesn't like my sport, but
Right.
he can kind of appreciate things from my sporting experience.
So do you ever get to FaceTime Lou then at all?
I got to leave a video recording for him. and this was over Christmas because my dad had flown in. Yeah, he flew in. We spent Christmas in Virginia Beach with my dad's family, and my brother Lou actually lives with his mom and his grandma in northern Japan
You
right now.
said, what is the goal with, you trying to, reach the next level with baseball and, showing your family?
So, my family really hasn't seen me play a lot or really at all. My mom is pretty much the only one who's seen me play. My grandma and my uncle, he's my grandma's brother, so I guess it's like a great uncle kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin Velanice, she actually saw me throw she lives in Texas, so she saw me throw in Oklahoma, and managed to pull a win out for her. But a lot of my family hasn't seen me throw, and what really hurts, my sophomore year at Lewisburg, I'd been like a guy out of the bullpen, and I've been pitching a whole lot. And we had the conference tournament, and I graduated with associate's degree, a little 2-year degree, and I came to the graduation. My dad, my grandma, and my mom, and I didn't play in the conference tournament, and I didn't get any innings. And that was like one of those humbling, learn from it moments.
Mm.
But really, what it is I want to keep playing because I want them to have seen me throw, and I haven't gotten any, worse. I have gotten better each year, and I'm starting to get to the point where I feel like, I've got something to prove with this, and
Mm.
I really want to be able to do that and make my family proud with it. I really want to be able to, see my brother and my dad in the stands, and my grandma, and I'm thinking about it kind of brings some shivers to me. But yeah, I really I want to be able to have them see me play.
It is, I mean, it's the love of the game, and it brings people together. And like, you mentioned a cool thing, because like, you don't really hear that type of answer a lot, so it's a unique answer, and it's pretty inspiring. And I mean, I through seeing you pitch a little bit and warming up and whatnot, I mean, I think you got the talent to go all the way. So I mean, it's going to be really cool to watch your journey. And I mean, we can keep having you on this if you want. If there's more stories, you can keep coming on, even if you want to do some fun episodes. I know Darian and Cam come on sometimes, but if you ever want to come back on, dude, this is such a cool thing, and I would love to document this journey a little bit more.
Yeah, man, I definitely
that'd be so cool. So where can people follow you if they want to follow you, which I'm sure they will?
So I have Instagram, and I have Twitter. Some of my Twitter isn't like bad or anything, but some of the stuff I like can be like a little edgy, I guess.
Okay.
It's really just for fun. Yeah, I like to post a variety of things, like of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really just want it to be like baseball. Like
Right.
I want it to be like who I am. And
hey, that's a perfect thing. What is your username handles?
Oh, my Twitter is at Mocha Bivens, and then my Instagram is at Bivs Marquee. Kind of like the rapper, but it's like a play on my last name.
I thought when you first told me that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, it's definitely the rapper. But it's cool when you said it's like a little edgy and all, but it's you. But I like to think, and this is kind of like my idea with everyone in the world, whoever I interact with, this is just my personal way I always look at things. But like, I always look at, the respect factor. If you show me respect, I'm showing you respect. And it turns into really good relationships. And But if you show, if someone shows disrespect, then I shy away a little bit. But you still got to show respect, and that's been nothing. That's everybody, especially in this league so far that I've met, is just pure respect. So I mean that goes with social media and everything. Like if respect factors there, then it's always cool.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Definitely.
That's so cool, dude. So
you're never too big of a person to just be a nice guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it takes it always takes just a little thing to just say, hey, I can make someone's day. You never know. But so is there anything else you want to add to this? We kind of went around an hour, so that's really good. And we kind of hit on a lot. I actually didn't even need to look at this episode to list a lot. It was more just coming to my mind because it was just so interesting.
Yeah, we covered a lot. We did cover a lot. No, I'm just really excited to play with my my best friend. We haven't played together since high school, and he got drafted by the Dodgers out of Virginia Tech.
Okay.
And he played in their minor league system for a couple of years, and he was released. And I know he's got the skill to go to make it, and I'm trying to do what I can as a friend to just make sure he realizes that, and I think playing with him will just make that better for both of us.
That's really cool. You got to look out for the friends, especially close ones like that. So that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, this has been a great episode, and we're definitely gonna stay close. You be on this podcast. We can document the journey more as it goes along. But yeah, so this has been Out on a Limb. We just went out on a limb. Continue to grow this tree by doing something different, or just being yourself. Peace.